Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Friday Facts. This is number 380, and we're going to be going over the remote view, or they are going over remote view, and we're going to review it here on the channel. So this is expanding on last week, where they were talking about the red-green wire and the cable, copper cable. So they're trying to normalize everything, and it's really starting to take shape here as to they are the Factorio expansion is definitely going to be modeled after Arundel's mod pack, space exploration. And because there's a lot of things you can do remotely, you can interact with buildings and things. And I'm currently playing K2SE, not just space exploration, but Factorio 2 included in there for additional complexity. And the remote view, you can change recipes and do things like that in buildings, but you can't physically place them. You still need bots locally, and the Spidertron comes into play a lot in late game where it's a mobile bot, so you don't necessarily need to put down the roboports. You can just move a Spidertron over to an area as long as it has bots inside it. So it makes it a lot nicer and you don't need these huge expansive bot networks and roboports everywhere to chew up your power, available power, idle power. So the Spidertron is going to come into play a lot in late game, even more on when you're on different planets. So let's go through this stuff here. We'd like to talk about the remote view changes coming in the 2.0 base game update. Now this is base game. Remember, there's different things going on. They have the space exploration expansion, but they're talking about the base game changes here. This is one of the foundations to be able to talk about the space platform and planets later, so let's get into it. There you go. Okay, remote view, Covrex. In Friday Facts 362, we explained the reasoning to improve the remote and ghost building as it became more important with Spidertrons present. Aha, see? With the introduction of the planets and space platforms in the space age expansion, the importance of the remote building grew even more. You just can't be everywhere at the same time. And yeah, that's very true. If you haven't played space exploration, you'll understand that there are surfaces. Okay, you need to understand there are surfaces, and the player can only be on one surface at a time. And there is a way to interact with the surfaces, but you're limited in what you can do. And that means you have to take rockets up, and they're very expensive rockets in the beginning for sure, to go to these other surfaces to be able to work on your other planets. And that's just not feasible. You can't just hop on normally you just hop on a train, or if you have a jetpack in space exploration, you just fly around. Now, add to that, you have to take a rocket to a planet to do stuff. So that means you better have everything you need before you go to that planet. And if you forget something, you're screwed. So let's carry on here. The goal is to be able to use remote view for everything that you can do locally. The motivation is also to remove as many inconsistencies as possible between the local and remote building, so your muscle memory works almost the same everywhere. Okay, so yeah, they're trying to make it where I'm in remote view, it's like I'm there. So that's a good thing. Okay, remote opening. In the current 1.1, you can't remotely open an assembly machine to change the recipe, an inserter to set a filter, etc. But you can use the blueprint trick to do it remotely anyway. Okay, this is similar. This is a similar problem as the remote wiring described in the last Friday Facts 379. So we implemented remote opening of every entity. This was only possible for train stops and locomotives in 1.1. This allows you to configure anything in the entity, but you can't just teleport your inventory items there. So you still need the bots, or a Spidertron equipped with bots. You can't just put items in. Now there are mods that allow you to do that, but that's not the concept that they want to go for. So here is, I think, what are they doing here? Passive provider. So here they're showing, we can open this case and see the contents here. Okay, notice the ghost picker on the left side of the remote view. So I think they're talking about this right here. I'm not entirely sure what they're talking about, because this right here is a ghost picker, I want to say. So now we got ghost items. Since we want to allow you to do almost any or everything, we needed a way. Oh gosh, okay, there's a comma there. Since we want to allow you to do almost everything, we needed a way to work with items remotely. The biggest motivation that arose from playtesting was to be able to add fuel to stuck locomotives, remove random items from places where they don't belong, and to add, upgrade, remove modules. So the solution is that you can just simply click a ghost cursor in an inventory slot to make a ghost item, which will be delivered to the slot by local construction bots. The same for removal, which makes the deconstruction cross and orders robots to take it out. Cross and orders. Deconstruction cross. Oh, so I think they're talking about this. The deconstruction cross? I don't know what they're talking about there. Okay, so here what they're doing is they're putting the module 3s in. The bots do it. And then they're right-clicking them out. And the bots take them out now. So you can do this remotely. Okay. Rotating stuff. In 1.1, you can already remotely change the direction of entities. The problem is that you can only do so by ghost, rebuilding the entity, while the R button to just rotate doesn't work, which makes another inconsistency compared to local building. Internally, we had quite a lot of logic related to real direction and future direction, which had to be considered in a lot of places, and it was always bringing more and more problems. Oh my gosh. So it looks like they're working on that now. The rotation order also doesn't give the nice feedback of whether the belt connects or not. Okay. While solving yet another problem related to this, we realized that making rotation just an instant action might not be the way out. It doesn't break the immersion too much and simplifies everything greatly for us and for the player. So we just did that. Okay. So you can see that you're able to rotate from map view. There you go. Opening ghosts. Once we allowed the remote entity configuration, a new annoying problem popped up. Locally, you might be used to just building an assembly machine and configuring it right away. But with remote building, you had to place the ghost, wait until the robots build it, and then finally you're able to configure it. Surprisingly, it wasn't technically that hard to allow opening ghosts and configuring them. Look at this. So he's got a chemical plant here, and he selects the recipe, done. And then so when it's built, it can start working right away. And that makes sense. You know, if you're going to put a ghost down, yeah, because that's what they're trying to do is like, okay, you have to use the blueprint system to fake out the system, you know, the game, into doing what you want it to do. So it adds a lot of cumbersome, nitpicky kind of crap that you have to do. Why not just set the ghost and you're done? Look at this. Blueprinting Spidertrons and equipment. Another thing that you couldn't do remotely was building Spidertrons. So reconfigure their equipment. The main technical cost was to add equipment ghosts, so you could blueprint the spider. The robots can install equipment into Spidertrons. There you go. I very rarely use these because I never get to late game on a lot of the overhaul mods, or it takes a long time to get to them. And by that time, it's like, okay, I'm done. All right, ghost entities on ghost tiles. Oh, look at this. This is especially important for the platform building, so you don't need to wait for all the space platform tiles to be delivered to the skies and physically built to be able to place ghost entities on top of them. Even outside this context, being able to build ghost entities on ghost landfill was a long time wish of ours, and also a lot of players. Look at that. So you can ghost down the landfill, and on top of that, ghost down your buildings. So that's cool. Deconstruction. The Alt-D shortcut for Deconstruction Planner is part of my muscle memory now, but still the inconsistency of being able to use it, to use the mine button to remove entities locally, but not remotely, was there. Okay, this is why now you can just mine entities remotely to mark them for deconstructions. Okay, that's cool. That's nice. A lot of little conveniences, but this is tying into the fact that you're going to be on different surfaces and all that. And here, look at this. So remote view context. With the planets and space platforms present, we had to make a way to remotely move these other to these other places. It was just natural to make new buttons on the right as an access to these places. There you go. So this is the mini map here, and here's your production graphs and all that. So now we got space map, and I don't know what this is. That looks new. That's a map marker there. I'm not sure what this one is. I don't know if that's a part. Is that Factorio? Let's see here. Yeah, that's not. That's a new icon. Yeah, I got Factorio open right now. So there you go. So this is new, and the space map. There you go. And look, they got 3 open little slots there, which leads to the GUI where you can see a preview of the different places and have a way to jump there through the view button. And look at this. Look at this. Novice. And they've got all the information here. This is total space exploration right here. Solar power in space. Evolution factor. Oh, they got the evolution factor. Pressure. Solar power and atmosphere. Magnetic field, gravity. See, they got gravity. And look, there's the planets right here. There they are. That's novice. 1, 2, 3. They've got something here, and then Informatron? Yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 planets, and then novice. Yeah, I think 1 is the final planet that you have to get to or something. And notice they got the view button right here. But once we started playing, it became obvious that the system is horrible. For example, if you want to check something on a planet and then switch to a platform, you have to Planets GUI, select planet, view, close. Planet GUI, select platform, view, close. So it's a pretty tricky little thing. A lot of mouse clicks there. Also, the preview in the planet's GUI kind of lure you into trying to do stuff in there directly, as if it was the remote view already. So we repeatedly felt stupid for trying to click into the non-functional preview widget, which is, I guess, this area here or whatever up here. The solution was to integrate everything together. Whether you open the remote view, the map, it always shows the planet/platform selection on the left. So you can use remote view normally and do everything, but also switch between places. All right. So the previous example gets simplified to remote view, select planet, select platform, close. All right. Okay, this is the planet view here. I'm wondering, like, so can you do stuff from here, is what they're saying. All right. This is the reason why the access to the planet platform travel and platform creation is in a little bit of an unintuitive place at first glance. It just works way better in the long run. P.S. We use the same strategy for trains, so it's just a glued piece of GUI to the remote view. So you can interact with the world around the selected train the usual way, instead of seeing just a map, which is otherwise non-interactable. Ghost shader. Oh, okay, so they're going into the ghost stuff here. The ghosts, I think in vanilla, are like a really light gray, and it's very tough to see. So I think they're just tinting them with a light hint of blue here. And so I'm just going to run through this because I looked at this already. So I think this is the new blueprint view. And you can change this color in the settings, although it's very dangerous, you know, to go into that and change things. And they just go into this. Now, what I think they're doing is they're going to be skewing the... it's going to look like some of the newer games now, like Desynced and... oh, gosh, I want to say Dyson Sphere. When you do ghosts... I don't know which game it is, but and Satisfactory. Satisfactory does this a lot. It'll have like well, Satisfactory used to have it. I think they took it away because it was too taxing. It'll show like it's a hologram, so it's not real until it's built. So until you can get the materials. I think when you had it in your cursor, it was your cursor view, and it would be like, you know, kind of distorted. So that's what they're doing here, and they're allowing for the graphics. See how it's got a little hitbox around it? So they have to allow for a little this distortion, and it looks like it's It looks like they've got, yeah, it's doing an analysis here, see, on the sides here. So it's getting distorted and it's showing the like a histogram or something there. Pretty cool. Yellow it illustrates the added rectangle margins, yeah. So this is the old blueprint look, and this is the new one. As you can see, it's so much easier to see it because when it's on concrete, you can't tell very easily, you know, what's going on. So I really like this blue color. It's really good. Okay. Now they're talking about the GPU performance, and it's, I don't think there is much of a, there is not much of a hit. Okay. So since we now tint the ghosts, we can use it to provide a little bit of extra information to the player. Specifically, the ghosts will change the tint when they've been assigned a robot to construct them. So you can tell at a glance if there's a robot on the way and or if you have the required materials for the network. Oh, that's pretty cool. Now let's see what's going on here. Oh, look, yeah, see it changed. Okay. So it went from a darker blue to a lighter blue. Oh, that's really cool. I wonder if this, they still have the X's on there. Oh, that's nice. I really like that. All right, as always, remotely, let us know what you think at the usual places. There you go. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of like, I like this that you can already do this in the settings in the game by pressing, I think, F4 or F5, and you can change the color of the blueprint. But what's new is the visual distortion of the image of the ghost, so you know, oh, okay, that's a ghost. It kind of pops it out, gives it a little nice feel to it, I think. Oh, look at this, man. See? They got clover leaves. Just look at this thing, man. It's pretty crazy. Oh, these trains over here. Holy cripes. The hell are they doing over here? Yikes. That's a lot of trains. Looks like they've got double loading. So they're probably using vanilla, you know, not using any mods for their train controllers. Because they got a lot of trains just sitting idle and stuff. And like one leaves and one parks kind of thing. So there you go. You're getting a look at how they're playing here. So yeah, they got the clover leaves. And it looks like there's, oh, I wish I could zoom in a little more. But yeah, it looks like they've got overpasses and stuff throughout here. They're using the bridges and stuff. That is so cool. That's got to be a bridge right here. It's elevating up and going over and around. So they got like a little, look at the little hacked a little bypass in. Pretty cool. I like it. Okay, so it's good to get a look at this. That's why I wanted to do this Friday Facts, because I think it's kind of cool that they're adding a lot of functionality to 2.0, which is going to be needed for the space exploration expansion there. Very cool. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the summary here. I'll see you next week. Peace out.